Well, hello all, and as I'm sure you're probably aware, Onision has made 3 million videos. I have went through a good majority of them, and to save you the trouble, they're basically rehashing all of the things that he has said about Shiloh and Billy and Sarah in the past, and for some reason, I guess he thinks that this is going to help his cause, but it's basically him just going back over the fact where, in his opinion, people lied and cheated and had babies with other people and forced them into sexual situations that him and Kai did not want to be involved in. Essentially, it was everything that he has already claimed about these people, and he keeps going off of this thing where if everybody is impartial, then they have to listen to both sides, but we have already heard all of this. The only new information that I have heard to even come out in this plethora of videos is the fact that he now decided to out Sarah for an experience that she had in her past. And it is just so disgusting and absurd, and after he did this to Billy, he swore that he would never do it again because of all the backlash he got, and yet here we are. And he was trying to make it sound so positive and like he was being supportive, and you can't have your virginity taken, it has to be given. How he thinks that this could help his case in any way is just completely absurd to me, and I feel so bad, and I'm so very sorry for Sarah that she had to live through this. And it has been said so many times, but if you didn't live it, then it is not your story and you have no business talking about it for any reason. Another thing that came out is that he did admit to having sexual contact with Sarah while Kai was away, and he stated that the rules were when Kai was away, he was not to have a traditional sexual relationship with Sarah. So he decided that the only option was to do butt stuff, and he felt that that was the only option and it would be okay because it was not explicitly discussed before Kai left. And that just illustrates to me the length that he is willing to go to find these loopholes, to find some way to get what it is that he wants out of a situation. The same way that he did with Billy, he wasn't supposed to do this or this, so he found a way to do something relevant to what he wanted. And it was all because it wasn't explicitly stated beforehand. And this is also, he can go back and say, well, you said I couldn't do this, but you didn't explicitly say that I couldn't do this, so therefore you cannot be mad at me for it. And I feel like this is the same thing that he does with the law. He researches and skates right on that line so that he can't be held accountable for anything legally. And I know I'm not usually so aggressive when I make a video, but this kind of person is the most disgusting to me because I have dealt with them. They put you in this mental state of, well, I guess you're right because I didn't explicitly state that you couldn't do that. Meanwhile, you're thinking in your head any rational person would know that you wouldn't want them to do that, but because you didn't state it, then I guess they can be held accountable. So then you go through this whole thing in your brain of like, I have to be really specific and I have to say exactly what I mean or else there will be a loophole and it will be my fault. And it creates such anxiety to try to make sure that you speak your sentences exactly how you want them to sound so that there's no room for error. And I myself still deal with some of that to this day. Another thing that happened is at some point he said that Kai had come in and said that they were leaving him. And whether that is true or not, I found it interesting because it was right about the time when he was talking about Billy, and it's very clear that when he brings this subject up, he is still infatuated with Billy to this day. And I say infatuated instead of in love with because I'm not sure that he experiences love like a normal person. And yes, that is just my opinion, but whenever he talks about loving someone, it almost seems more like an infatuation or an obsession. The incident where his daughter fell out the window has recently been brought up, and I don't really want to get too much into that. I am glad that she is okay, and I hope nothing like that ever happens again. But one of the big focal points was the fact that he recorded her when she was injured. There are a lot of speculations about why that happened, but in my personal opinion, I think that he videotaped it so that he could try to preemptively clear his name And yes, I think it is odd to think that way whenever your daughter is injured, but I think he is so used to functioning that way, and you can see that in the video with Shiloh whenever she has threatened to harm herself. It's almost like a preemptive, I have to prove that I didn't do anything wrong and this is what happened. But in other news, Shiloh has returned to Twitter and she is also returning on Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. So I'm going to go check that out and I will see you guys some other time. Let me know your thoughts, comment below, and subscribe if you would like, that would be awesome. But I have got to go for now, so for now, I'm out.